despondency, popular despondency amongst Nigerians. I actually don't quite think that is true about, young Nigerians, different Nigerians are doing what they can, but they've been failed by the political opposition. Now, let's go back to the Constitution and what it says. Section 305, subsection 6 requires, if you read 305(2) and 6, it's very clear. The president can declare an emergency howsoever he wants. However, he's got to transmit the proclamation to the joint chambers. And the joint chambers have 48 hours if the National Assembly is in session, or 10 days if the National Assembly is not in session, to affirm by two-thirds majority of each chamber establishment, they affirm and confirm the emergency. If they don't, the emergency lapses. APC does not have two-thirds in either chamber. PDP, Henry, while you were talking, PDP, Dele Debo Ologagba issued the statement of the PDP, and he could not find it in himself to say the party has instructed all its members in the National Assembly to vote against a joint resolution on the emergency. That is the problem. Stop blaming the people. Let us start with where the problem is. The president, Tinubu, as powerful as you want him to be, cannot sustain this emergency if PDP holds the line. PDP is a failure. And Omar, that your party is an absolute failure. This is the time when the party needs to stand up for Nigerians or for itself. Atiku has issued a statement. None of them can say we are asking our legislators to vote against this. That is the first step. Let's stop blaming the people. The people will die and the politicians will take office on top of their bones and their bodies and their blood. Right? And it is the politicians of both parties. Today, it is no longer PDP. Since today, the party has become IDP, internally displaced party, because it no longer has a headquarters. When Wike was revoking plots for other people, PDP as an opposition kept quiet. The easiest thing to do is to oppose APC. It does not require skill. But the party system has bailed out on the country, and it's easy to say, oh, Tinubu has destroyed the party. I'm sorry, a party that is a party cannot be destroyed by Tinubu or anybody. Obasanjo tried to destroy ACN and AC. It didn't work. So the PDP itself has been complicit in its own liquidation. And I do think that, now the first thing is this. If we have you've got to muster two-thirds. To muster two-thirds in the next 48 hours, because the National Assembly is in session, you have got to get a significant number of legislators from the Niger Delta. You've got to get a significant number of legislators from the PDP. The Labour Party legislators have got to be on board. And so you ask yourself, what kind of democracy is that? And, we can all sit down here and wring our hands, and I hear people say, you can't cry more than the bereaved. But if the majority of legislators from the Niger Delta are going to be voting against this, to support this, who will vote for it? I lawyered the emergency following Dogo Nahawa in 2010. And I know what I went through with General Azazi, the late General Azazi, in his office as National Security Advisor, to say, no, you cannot do what President Obasanjo did. It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. You cannot sack the governor, the way he did. The Supreme Court had made that clear. Secondly, there is a process. Now, let's even assume. And secondly, you can designate a part of the state. Now, you're declaring state of emergency in all of Rivers State. What is the casus belli? What evidence is there? Is anything the problem in Port Harcourt? Is anything the problem in Okrikaland? Where exactly is the problem? You can therefore make a state of emergency surgical. That's assuming that there is reason. But there is a third procedural issue, and which is what? Even when President Obasanjo declared an emergency over all of Plateau State and removed Governor Deriye, he did something. He first asked to see him and to listen to his side of the story. President Tinubu has declared an emergency today without even the minimal courtesy of hearing from Sim Fubara and asking him what exactly is the situation on the ground. So when people say that this is predetermined, prejudicial, and working to from answer to question. It's very clear. It is politically motivated emergency. That is an abuse of the Constitution. This is, the one thing a president must never do is to politicize security and insecurity. And that is what, unfortunately, regrettably, in my view, and I suspect in the view of most well-meaning Nigerians, President Tinubu has done. The broadcast is a disgrace. And what he has done also is basically to tell Wike, you are the deputy president. That's really, really awful. But that's my main point is, if the opposition parties worked, there will be no emergency. And there is still room to work back on that. But will they? And if the legislators from the Niger Delta, a majority of them, because Godswill Akpabio is from the Niger Delta after all, if they work together, will this emergency hold? I don't think so. But we still have 48 hours to hear. You've seen the information that the president consulted with them before proceeding with this, and they assured him that there is unanimous consent by the National Assembly behind the emergency. We are going to find out within 48 hours whether that is true.
Can a sole administrator assume gubernatorial functions? Can he make appointments that are exclusive to the governor? Can he exercise power that only a governor can exercise, that even a deputy governor cannot, including power of prerogative of mercy for these 6 months? Because all Tinubu said was, there should be no new laws. So who was going to, it's just funny. But he said he can make regulations. So I'm saying, given the impact that this will have on the workers, if tomorrow, because I think as we are talking, the military has already been deployed to enforce this. If tomorrow the workers in Rivers State say they are staying at home, the NUT says teachers are not safe, they don't know what is going on, everybody should stay at home, and schools are closed, markets are not open, and the sole administrator is the only one that finds himself on the streets. At least if the vast majority come out to reject this, maybe that will have some meaningful, outcome. But to say that, oh, let PDP do this, speaking to a useless party, a party that Wike is still a member, a party that the national chairman is still listening to Wike, a party that the PDP Governors Forum has not issued a statement till now. You can show me if I'm wrong. As the PDP Governors Forum even issued a statement, PDP is dead. PDP is only existing in name. As a political party, PDP is dead. It is useless. It is basically useless. It's not totally ineffective. PDP is dead. Let's just agree to that. That the Governors Forum of the PDP, one of their members has just been removed to what looks like a coup. They have not issued a statement. I'm not saying they should even summon an emergency meeting. Because by now, tomorrow morning, I would have expected, in a country that has a position, that all the PDP governors will be meeting tomorrow morning to take a position. I'm sorry, I've taken a position as an activist never to cry more than the bereaved. That's the position. So the man you are fighting for, Fubara, is he willing to fight for himself? Have you not seen the statement he issued? He's still as cowardly as he has been from the beginning of this crisis. So maybe there is a fait accompli. We have to wait for the 6 months. When that has elapsed, Tinubu may renew it for another 6 months. And then by 1 year, we will know what Tinubu wants to do. So, sorry, I'm not sounding optimistic. But optimism at this point may just be evidence of, mental incapacity, inability to appreciate the reality that stares us in the face. That is just all I'm saying, that only the people of Rivers State can speak to the issue in an impactful way. And I'm not optimistic that even the people of Rivers State will respond to this appropriately. We will talk on social media, we'll find maybe some people want to go to court and file cases, but you can only go to the Federal High Court, by the way. You can't go to the State High Court to challenge this. It has to be Federal High Court. Okay? Which division of the who is going to file the suit? If NBA goes to court, does NBA have jurisdiction? Local standard? Will they allow NBA to bring the suit? Will political parties bring the action? Will PDP file a lawsuit tomorrow to say that a governor elected on his platform for 4 years has been wrongly removed because the PDP should have locus, since it is their governor? Will the so-called national chairman direct the legal advisor to file a lawsuit tomorrow to reverse this? If Fubara cannot fight this, I don't see any of this happening realistically. This is the web of darkness, sadly, that has enveloped the political space of the country. So, sorry, if you're expecting me to sound hopeful, there is little or no hope by my estimation. I've listened to my learned friend, his opinion. Mine is not so definite. The reason is because for you to activate the regional jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, there are 2 things that must be present. Because that subject matter, 2 things are determinative of it. Number 1 is the party. Number 2 is the presence of disputes. There has to be a dispute. Okay? A dispute between the parties that are capable of activating that jurisdiction. And I said, look at section 231 of the Constitution on the regional jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. You see who the parties are. Then look at there's a law called Supreme Court Additional Jurisdiction Act that further expanded that original jurisdiction. Now, this matter is the nature of this dispute seems to be circumscribed to Rivers State. Okay, what has happened is that the president has removed a governor of a particular state. Does that necessarily amount to a dispute between the federal government? Right? It's a dispute between the federal government and the state, by the way, not between governors. The dispute between a governor and the president, I'm not sure if covered by the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. I'm not sure, but I know that the dispute between the states, okay, and the federal government or the federation, in quotes, is within the original jurisdiction. Now, if there is a dispute, the Supreme Court has in plethora of cases offered perspective and definition on what amounts to a dispute within the purview and contemplation of section 231. I think the best bet for me is every legal option should be pursued. I'm not going to dismiss such an action. Let them try it and put the argument. It is better to have as many possible legal challenges to this as possible. Let the one that will scale through on the merits scale through. But I am not optimistic that this is possible, because that would mean that the governors of the APC, of the PDP states, will instruct the attorney generals to bring a joint action at the Supreme Court, so that if the president can remove the governor of Rivers, then he can also remove the governors of those states. Then in that sense, one can say there is a dispute. But on the other hand, the matter is geographical. It's limited to Rivers. So it's a yes or no thing. It can be argued either way, but my recommendation is let it be done. I have told you personally what I feel Fubara should do. By now, his lawyers should be putting the papers together. Approach the Federal High Court. I don't think he can go directly to the Supreme Court now, because there is no Attorney General. And contrary to your expectation, I can tell you, Tinubu will use all military might to enforce this order. Somebody was speaking about local government election. Sorry, Uma, there will be no local government election. You are dealing with people that are sophisticated manipulators. Before they took this decision, they have objective they want to achieve. One of which is to stop that local government election. Whoever the so-called administrator is, you may be seeing a memo tomorrow to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission stopping them from going ahead. They will not allow it. Go and write it down. I'm ready to bet on this. They will not allow local government election for the 6 months. There are certain things that will happen. There is a part of that proclamation of the speech that you should pay attention to. Tinubu said the sole administrator that no new laws should be made. Okay, as if a sole administrator is now having both legislative and judicial and executive power. That is part of the reason why this is just insane. For those who are saying he has the power to do it. Because it will imply that we now have a fusion of both legislative and executive powers. That will clearly offend the spirit and letters of section of the separation of powers under section 4, 5, and 6. You cannot have legislative power and executive power exercised by one entity or authority under our constitutional system. It is impossible. It is simply impossible. The best bet that you can have, is through subsidiary legislations. So, all I'm trying to explain, I'm trying to give context to you so that you will understand all these things. That let all possible actions be filed, both at the Supreme Court and at the Federal High Court. Forget about State High Court. I saw somebody saying Fubara should get injunction. There is no State High Court that had jurisdiction on the matter. It will be a waste of time. And with what has happened in the defection case, my suspicion is that judges of the State High Court are being circumspect. You know the way our country is. Everybody will be careful. So that is my recommendation, sir. Let the PDP governors instruct the attorney generals to file the action at the Supreme Court. Let us see what the Supreme Court will say on the question of jurisdiction. The Fubara himself should be the first person to even file the action. Then PDP as a party, I strongly believe, as the locus. So before Fubara files, PDP itself should go to court. Because it is their mandate that has been truncated, mandate in quotes, that has been truncated for 6 months.
Did you listen to that? That is it. Now the question is, I know a lot of people have been asking, who is the president of this country? Because as it is now, it looks like Wike is the president of the country. Yes, because when you look at what is going on now, it looks like Tinubu, Wike is the president of this country. Don't forget, I said something before. I said one man said Tinubu is just like a tenant in that Aso Rock. They have given him the list. Do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do that. It's the same thing that is playing out today now. Wike is the mastermind of all this. If not Wike, Tinubu cannot make this declaration. Now the question is, what is Wike's gain in all of this? Wike is from Rivers State. Tinubu is from the Yoruba, Lagos, Abi, Ogun State, Osun State. So Wike is fighting his own citizen, using Tinubu to fight his own citizen. What is Wike's gain? Is it just to take over power, to be in control as a third governor in Rivers State? Why he's also the SCT minister? Is it for APC to take over? Just APC to take over in 2027? If that's the case, just APC to take over in 2027, since they are gradually building one party system. Why don't patience? Why not exercise patience and wait 2027 to use your muscle, your power to remove sin from PDP in 2027? So why are you going unconstitutional, unlawful, removing a sitting governor who have democratically elected as the sitting governor of Rivers State? Why? What is Wike again? Using Tinubu to destroy lives and properties in Rivers State in the name of he want to be in control of everything. Why? Think about it. Think about it. Wike is from Rivers State. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. Why are you using Wike, using Tinubu to destroy your people? What do you want? I've looked at it, I think, since yesterday. This is the issue that have been going on. A lot of people have issued statements. NBA issued a lengthy response to Tinubu. They condemn this. But it's shocking to see Fagbemi, Chief of Attorney General, to not have know this constitution and allow Tinubu to go on and make this declaration. And not till today, when I listen to his statement, he's still backing Tinubu, going against all this constitution. I don't know why these people are so stupid. What do you expect? They have to back their organ because Tinubu is unconstitutional. Aisha has been saying it that Tinubu is an illegitimate president. She will never call him her president. This is the reason why she has been calling Tinubu illegitimate president. A country where Tinubu go against the constitution, violate all the constitutions, and INEC and the Supreme Court make him the president. What do you expect? Today is the commander-in-chief. He does not need to consult anybody. He make decisions anytime. Why? Even if you want to impeach, you want to suspend a sitting governor, can't you go about it? Can't you go in a normal way, due process? This is how he has been causing problem. Anyways, this matter, please, what do you think? Share this video.